Right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today is the first webinar of Launchese in 2022. We're gonna talk very important topic, which we are receiving a lot of emails from our community. How to open a business bank account as a non-resident person, a startup owner who has a company in UK. I have guests. Munir from Launchese Morocco is here. And we have a very special guest today from Tide, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
Hi, very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. So we are live on Facebook group, Facebook page, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn as well. So guys, everybody welcome. And if you have any questions, don't forget to drop your comments. We will do Q&A at the end of the session, and we will try to answer all your questions. Today, I'm going to start with quick introduction about Launchese because I've seen from the registrations, we have lots of new people, which we are so happy to see you here. And I would like to give you a really quick introduction about Launchese. Launchese is a startup-friendly company based in London. We help startups from all over the world to set up their company in UK. And we mainly work with e-commerce and software companies. We help them to form their company in UK, provide them other services. We help them to get easy access to the payment gateways and financial instruments like Stripe, PayPal, business bank accounts like Tide, other cross-border payments. We guide them to pass the queue. We help them to get funding to scale their businesses. And we also help them for bookkeeping and accountancy with accounting services. And hopefully, the first quarter, we're going to expand our services in US. So you will be able to set up your company even in US as well, not only in UK. Today, we're going to talk about very important topic, as I mentioned, business bank account. With our experience, 2.5 years from our customers and for our community, we have noticed that Munir knows very well, and not all of them, they're aware of how important it is to have a business bank account. And we're going to talk about that quickly. And the main question they always asking, why do I need a business bank account? Why I cannot use my personal account for getting payments from the customer? The main thing is if you have a limited company in the UK, by law, legally, you need to have a business bank account. You cannot use your personal bank account for your personal expense. You can use your personal bank account for your personal expenses, but not for your business purposes. I'm going to tell you what kind of problems you might face as an entrepreneur. And the second thing is separating business and personal expenses is always easy and it's well organized, especially when you come to the stage of accountancy and bookkeeping period. You will see that if you use your business bank account or your personal bank account for different purposes, it's going to create lots of problems, especially bookkeeping part. And it's going to simplify your admin when you start working with an accountant for your accounts. When they see your personal, if you go to Starbucks and use your business card to pay your coffee, you will have trouble. You're gonna have trouble. You will need to explain it to your accountant. And again, you shouldn't use your business bank account for personal expenses. And the most importantly, Munir is going to confirm that you will have problems if you are using your personal bank account for business purposes. I think recently we received some emails from the customers. Munir, know about that?
Yeah. Many customers recently got their account closed because they are using personal accounts to pay their ads, Facebook, Google Ads, TikTok, Snapchat ads. So it's better to use business bank account with business stuff. So
And
it's very
the
risky.
problem is they holding their money. That's the problem.
Yeah, they're holding their money, they're closing their accounts, and sometimes they're not responding to their emails. So you need to wait a long time to get your money back, which is it can hurt your business. So it's better to use a business bank account with your business, not to use personal.
Very close customer and friend of ours. They had the same problem recently. He was using the personal bank account and they kept his money for a while, and it's painful. So look, the process is so easy. I live in UK for 15 years. I have several businesses. Used to be very difficult to open business bank account in this country. And I remember my first business, I spent 2 months or something like that. Paperwork, go business plan, they were checking everything. It's difficult. And imagine you don't live here. If you don't live here, it's even difficult. If you look to the websites about the business setup, etc., they're going to tell you that it's how hard it is to open a business bank account. Some of them, they say, hey, you need to come to UK, you need to visit the branch. But last 5 years, it has been changed. I would like to say thank you to the fintech companies and challenger banks. They changed this boredom bureaucracy, which I call it like that. And the process is way, way easier. That's why we have Tide here. Tide is one of our first partners when we started Launchese startup project. And they helped us a lot. They helped a lot of our users. And we are so happy with their services and we get an amazing feedback. So I said, hey, let's do the first webinar of the year with them to teach, to explain you guys more about their services and how important is the business bank account. Chloe, how to start? I mean, tell us about Tide. Who are you guys and what you do?
Oh, well, thanks for that. Yeah, happily. So here at Tide, we are one of the fastest growing business banking platforms in the UK today. And we have tailored our services towards the sole trader, SME, freelancer contractor marketplace. Our mission is really, really simple, and that's to save people who work for themselves time and money so that they can get back to doing what they love best, and that is managing their business. We've gone through a really exciting period of growth. So we have just hit the 400,000 member mark, which is really, really exciting for us, which is around 7% of market share. And that is just the start for us. We've just scratched the surface, and there is further expansion plans that we are looking towards, but it's a really exciting time for us. We don't just provide business bank accounts. That's one thing I want to make very clear. If you become a Tide member, yes, you get access to a Tide bank account, but there's also a host of other features and benefits that you can access by becoming a Tide member. We like to think of ourselves as a one-stop shop. So with that being said, people can schedule payments from inside the Tide app. They can create and manage invoices. They can take pictures of their receipts, which will auto upload into the Tide app. And that will then go on to, it will then go on to auto categorize as well. So that it just makes financial admin a lot easier and a lot smoother, especially when you get to your end of year tax period.
I know the feeling.
I think many people do. There's lots of other exciting features and benefits as well. And we are one of the only banking providers where you can not just create a bank account, but you can also register your company at the same time. So you're killing two birds with one stone, so to speak, which is a really exciting USP that we've got. There's lots of other things as well that people can access. So Tide members can actually have up to 4 accounts, small businesses. You can have up to 35 expense cards for every Tide account.
This is. I mean, give me more details about those 4 accounts and 35 cards. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, tell me more about that, please.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something that we're really excited about. We understand many people in the UK have more than one business. So therefore, it's important for us to be able to allow them to access multiple bank accounts. So that's why we have a limit where businesses can have up to 4 different bank accounts. Secondary to that, as businesses are expanding, there are more and more people that they will want to send out there to make purchases on their behalf. And that can be really difficult to manage, especially if there's just one business bank card. Therefore, we've created the ability where people can get extra expense cards and issue those to their staff members, which is just, it gives people that autonomy to be able to go out and spend money on behalf of their business without having to pass one card around 35 people, for example. So it's a really popular feature of ours. And that's just scratching the surface. There's so many other things that people can access. Another really important one is that people can actually integrate with key accounting softwares as well. So we do have that integration in place. So let's say if you run your accounting software off Sage or Xero or QuickBooks, we have all those accounting integrations in place with Tide to push all your finances into
so
those
you're telling me that
platforms.
I don't need to download the CSV from the Tide website. I'll upload it to the Xero. So you solve that problem as well.
Exactly. Well, we've tried to solve as many problems as we could. And that's the thing about Tide. We really listen to our members. We want to understand what are the key challenges they've got on a daily basis in terms of their financial administration. And we like to provide a solution. Another added benefit to Tide as well is that by becoming a Tide member, you also get exclusive access to a lot of features and benefits in terms of what we call member perks. So member perks, you can get access to free digital toolboxes, exclusive offers and discounts on personal indemnity insurances. You can get free office telephone number. You can get lots and lots of different discounts as well that help support people in their in the running of their businesses.
Especially startups, they love that kind of offers.
Exactly. So yeah, Tide are going through a really exciting time at the moment, and as I mentioned before, we're just scratching the surface.
That's good. Most of our users, they are online sellers. They have their stores on Shopify, WooCommerce, any platform. They use the payment gateways like especially Stripe and PayPal. So I mean, I can see there are some questions already about that. In the meantime, guys, we are getting your questions. Don't worry about that. We're gonna try to answer all of them one by one. I'm just trying to follow my schedule first, but keep coming. They're amazing, good questions. I'm so happy to see them. Is there any? I mean, how the system works? I have an online store. I have a limited company in UK. I'm from X country, and my payment gateway is Stripe, PayPal. Can I get my payments from those channels to the Tide bank account?
Yeah, so I'll be happy to provide some more information off the back of this webinar, and we can add some links in to give people more information. But absolutely, we have many members that successfully transact with the likes of PayPal, with the likes of Stripe, with absolutely zero issues whatsoever. So I'll be more than happy to provide some more information on that if you're getting a lot of questions in around that area.
Fantastic. I think what we're going to do after the call, everyone who is attending this and who did register already, we're going to send you guys those links the way you can check yourself. And also we're going to post it to our group on Facebook. If you are not member of our Facebook group, please just search Launchese. We have a really active group over there. There are lots of mind-like people, startup owners from all over the world. They are in the group, so you can share the experience. You can talk with them about your problems. We are there as well. We're happy to answer your questions. Whatever we are talking tonight, we will push it over there as well, so you can review and you can check the links. I have another question here. My question. What about Amazon? We have a huge community of people. They selling on Amazon, and they would like to get their payment from Amazon to a local bank account in UK. Is there any problem with that? Can they use the Tide bank account for Amazon payments as well?
Also to pay Amazon fees also.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's very straightforward from our perspective. A Tide card can essentially be used like a regular card, so that therefore you can use it to transact with the likes of Amazon, to make payments, to receive payments. That is absolutely not a problem whatsoever. Treat your Tide card like a regular
card. Business card. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the registration process. Okay, guys, again, to use Tide services, you don't need to be Launchese member. We have a special link. The Munir is going to put it in the banner now. So if you visit that page, you can you just visit launchese.com/Tide. It's going to redirect you to the landing page on Tide. And the good thing is they're going to know that you're coming through the Launchese, and they have a special department in Tide, which is taking care of our users. They know what type of business generally you do. They know that you have a company in UK and you don't live here, so you don't need to worry. I mean, let's talk about the registration process a bit.
Sure. So the registration process with Tide, we pride ourselves on because it is super slick, super quick, really straightforward. Typically, most of our members, they can actually successfully sign up to their Tide account in under 10 minutes, which is something that we pride ourselves on. We're continually optimizing the journey. In terms of signing up, I definitely encourage people that are watching today to use the link that will be shared via Launchese, because you will get an exclusive offer. So you'll get a £50 cash back into your Tide account.
This is lovely. This is great.
So just wanted to call that out first before I get into the details. So click on that link and you can start your application process. What we will do is we will start to take some information from you, some basic registration information about who you are as a person. We will then look to understand more about how you are looking to operate as a business, whether you're looking to become a sole trader or a limited company. And then we will ask for some more information around that business operation that you're looking to start up or set up an account for. Typically, as part of the sign-up process, we do ask for a form of identification. Now, that form of identification can take the form of a passport, driving license. We do accept most forms of international driving licenses or European national ID cards. So for anyone based outside of the UK, not a problem whatsoever. Alongside that, we will also require you to take a selfie from your Tide app when you're signing up with us, just so we can verify the two forms of identification. And it really is that straightforward. One thing to call out is that there are some instances whereby we may need to ask for some additional information. Not in every scenario, but some. I think the key thing to reassure your audience is that is very much standard practice. With us being regulated, we do have an obligation to conduct the necessary checks. So to do that, we may need to ask for some more information, maybe such as additional proof of where you reside, for example, or a utilities bill, for example. But you will get that in a lot of other places as well. But it's nothing to be concerned about. And as I say, or as we mentioned before, if people sign up via the Launchese link, that will also give them exclusive onboarding support as well. So if anyone does need a helping hand throughout their onboarding journey, call that number, because we will be on hand to support you throughout that entire process and answer any questions that you might have. But all in all, it's really simple and straightforward to sign up with us here at Tide.
I mean, I am using you guys for my several businesses, and I honestly, I would like to say that the process is easy, guys. I mean, it's not really complicated, and they have a really good live chat. Live chat is amazing. And I remember when I was registering my other company, I didn't check my live chat, and they called me. Literally, they called me, "Hey, we sent you that message and you didn't reply. We would like to open your account, and can you please provide us this?"
Yeah.
And literally, they asking for the non-residents. They asking two types of form of IDs, which is passport, driving license, and address proof, which could be your bill, I mean rent bill or bank statement, etc. And they guide you if you send them the wrong document, because it's normal, because you don't know, and you don't need to worry. They tell you what kind of documents they accept, which is extremely helpful. There's a question: Tide business cards on Visa or Mastercard scheme?
Mastercard.
Okay. Yeah. That's the one question. The other, so the process is super easy. You don't need to worry about that. And okay, so I send all my papers to you, like selfie, passport, etc. What is next?
What is next? If you are approved as a member, once we've completed all our checks, then all you have to do is wait for your card to arrive in the post. You'll immediately get access to your Tide app. So you can start logging in, you can start having a look at all the features and benefits within there, and your card will arrive to you. Typically, it takes around 3 to 5 working days for the card to arrive.
That's fast.
It's kind of standard practice in terms of how long it takes to arrive. But then you are good to go, which is, it's a great onboarding journey for our customers. We get a lot of positive feedback. And as I say, we have the in-app support as well. So once you are a fully fledged Tide member, If you do have any questions throughout, the in-app support is really, really a great tool to leverage and use.
Right, the question. I have seen people incorporate their business in UK and Tide still turn down their business account application. Why does Tide do this? I know it's a very, very, it's a very specific question. Would you like to answer or?
Yeah, I'm happy to provide comment here. So I guess this ties into what I mentioned earlier, that there are a certain level of checks within the UK that we need to complete and verify. Those checks are quite comprehensive, and it's not my remit, so I can't go into those today. But there are some checks that need to be done ultimately. For whatever reason, if someone isn't able to satisfy those necessary checks, then there could be instances where we do have to turn down applications. And that falls within what we call our manual KYC process, our know your customer process. It could be another reason as well of maybe the nature of the business falls outside of Tide's risk appetite. I would be happy to share some information after this call around what are those industries that fall outside of our risk appetite. We do like to share that with people just so they are aware of that. The list is quite small, but it's something that we can share with you. So yeah, it will more than likely fall down to the fact of our manual KYC checks, which will be bespoke to each individual applicant.
I mean, again, with my experience, guys, I would like to tell you that most of e-commerce customers of ours from all over the world had been accepted. And I remember a couple of them, they had tiny bit problems for the verifications and stuff. And most of them, they passed as well. Again, they have a good support. They're very friendly. If you face any problem, just, ask more details. There's another one. Okay, yeah. I want to open a business account in the UK. The problem is not in the UK. What can I do? I mean, you are in the right place. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So that great question, first of all. So I think that's one of Tide's USPs is that we do accept applicants from outside of the UK. There are a few things to bear in mind with that being said. So if you are applying for a Tide bank account outside of the UK, absolutely fine. But there's just a few things that you need to consider. So if you're a sole trader, you need to ensure that you've got a UK registered address. Or if you're a limited company, you need to make sure that you are registered with UK's Companies House. A few additional things that we advise that you do, make your application, use it, or ensure that you've got a UK SIM card, and make sure that you switch your app, or whether it's Google Play Store, make sure you switch it to the UK settings just so that you can make sure you download the right version of the Tide app. But provided that you check all those three boxes and are able to provide the relevant ID to submit your Tide application, then we will absolutely consider you as a member. That's not a problem whatsoever.
That switching the Apple Store thingy or Google Play part is a bit techy, but they have a really good help file on their website. And also, if you visit the Launchese and if you talk one of our customer support team member, live chat or WhatsApp, etc., whatever you're using, we have a good help file, how shows how to do that as well. It's pretty simple. You just need to switch. And I've seen one question related to that. Let me take this one out from LinkedIn, Adam. Adam is asking, hey, just use the link to register and it's asking UK mobile number. UK mobile number is essential, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think I mentioned earlier, you'll need a UK registered SIM card with a UK number appended to it. So if you can get a hold of that, that will support the application.
That to solve that problem, just talk to Launchese live support. They're going to help you on this, Adam. This is what we helping people as well. So to get a UK number is not really difficult. Another question, difficult one. I'm from Morocco. I've been opened a Tide bank account in 2019. Very old. I got my account blocked 1.5 years later with no reason. Has to be a reason. Can I apply again to the business account?
Absolutely. Of course you can. Obviously, I can't comment on individual cases. Sure. However, what I would encourage you to do is apply again. Our risk appetite may have changed throughout the course of the past, let me do my maths, 3 years. So absolutely, of course you can. If there are any are any things that need to be clarified throughout the application journey, as I mentioned, we've got that onboarding support number, and we can work you through that process to become a Tide member.
And another one. Can you tell which banks are available? Which banks are available on non-residents in the UK? Well, today's guest is from Tide, so they do that service. But as an entrepreneur, if you want me to answer, it is so difficult if you are not, even if you have a company in UK and you don't live here, that's fine. But to get a business bank account in these conditions, with my experience, is extremely difficult. There are a few people out there can help you as a company. Tide, one of them, and most successful in my opinion. I am personally working with pretty much all of fintechs because it's part of our job. We're testing all of them. I will confidently I can say that you don't need to look somewhere else with the other services, and Tide is the right answer. Again, I'm not saying because there are partners. I am testing for my companies pretty much all banks, and I know the conditions, what you have, guys. I mean, you might have a company here, but you don't live here. I know what kind of papers they're going to ask to you. This is normal process. I had the same experience, trust me. So try Tide, you will be happy. If you would like to get more information, just message us on live chat on launchese.com. But I really personally recommend to try Tide, which is the most easiest and transparent process I've seen in the industry. There's a technical question. Where's that? That one. Oh, Jem, if the owner of the company, shareholder, a company is overseas, what documents they need to provide?
So the documents to provide will be on a case-by-case basis. That will be dependent on whatever our KYC team asks for. But particularly, they will no doubt ask for some form of proof of address, and also potentially what your shareholding looks like in company formation documentation. But that will be on a case-by-case basis. So I'd absolutely encourage you to apply, and you'll very quickly become aware of what specific documentation that you'll need for your specific application.
Okay, all right. Next one, let's have the next one. Which one is the next? Eva. Eva is our new Launchese member from Turkey. Tide accept easily payments in Turkish lira. I'm asking that some other companies require some additional information or extra payment to able to use the currency. I had this, not Turkish lira, but I have this similar question on Instagram. What currencies Tide supports? What type of currencies I can open an account with in Tide?
Yeah, so I'll be happy to, because of the level of detail in the answer, I'll be happy to give you some more information off the back of this, so that we can let you know which currencies that we do support, and I guess for your other audiences as well, so that it'll be relevant to them. So if that works for yourselves, I can update you with some more information on that.
Okay, all right. We have heard details, so we can send it. But as far as I know, you have GBP anyways. You provide British pounds. You have euro. I don't remember the US dollars. I'm not sure. I need to check. But yeah, we can check and we can send an update to everyone about that as well. There's a technical question. Scanning the passport in Tide is tricky.
Okay.
Tamer.
In that scenario, appreciate the feedback first of all, because we always want to hear that sort of feedback if there are challenges. In that scenario, call the onboarding number. If you encounter any kind of technical challenge, which shouldn't be the case, but if you do, call that onboarding number. We'll have other ways in which we can work together to get that form of ID, whether it needs to be send it by email or another route.
If I'm not wrong, you guys use a third-party software works at the background to check that kind of process, isn't it? I know what he's trying to say. It is tricky, I agree, but it's not non-doable. You need the perfect lighting. I know it's going to be a bit technical, but
to be honest,
you need the perfect lighting, the right angle, this, that. So Tamer, if you, don't give up, keep trying. I did fail a couple of times. I'll be honest with you, but I just realized that the angle of the light wasn't right, so they weren't seeing everything, and there is no button you can send the
Maybe
picture straight away.
they can use another phone. Maybe they can install
I
the
don't
app
know.
in the future.
I guess if he reaches to type support, so I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
They know that.
exactly. I mean, as you mentioned, persist, change the lighting, make sure there's nothing obscuring the vision, make sure that your lens is clear. If that continues to be a problem and it's not capturing the photo successfully, contact onboarding support. We'll be able to give you an email that you can either email a picture in, or we'll find another way to work with you on it. But thanks for that feedback. It's good to hear.
Good one. Minir, what's next? Which one we getting after Eva?
Yeah.
Why Tide didn't make provision for non-residents on sign-up page? If Tide really wants to welcome non-UK residents, then they need to have an option for non-UK residents on the sign-up page. Sign-up page is clear, no? I mean,
In the
what do you think?
frequently asked questions, also there is an option that they accept non-UK residents.
Yes, so in that regard, it's good to get that feedback again. So we like to think that we're clear and transparent in terms of who can apply into Tide. If we need to reconsider that based on feedback, not a problem. You know, if we need to make it clearer that we do accept residents outside of the UK, you know, we can assess that. We can look at the messaging and we can make it clearer for people. We do have a really comprehensive FAQ section of the site as well, which gives more information for non-UK residents also. That's a really, really handy tool. If you've just got any questions, refer to that. But yeah, we feel like we do have provisions in place, but it's good to get that feedback. Absolutely.
Perfect. Next one. They ask proof of address, and when I sent them bank account statement of Wise, they don't accept it. Okay, so all right, so he's trying to send as an address proof using his Wise bank account statement. And is there any limitations over there, or is there any problem to do that, or do you need an actual his local bank's bank statement?
So that will fall under the remit of our KYC team. So the type of information they will require, they usually, when they ask for proof of address, they will usually give some examples of what would be sufficient proof of address. So I definitely fall in line with that. If they've encouraged you to provide a certain type of proof of address, do that. If for whatever reason they don't accept it, just ask them why, and just ask them, well, what else can they? You know, we're not a closed book. We are happy to discuss these things with people. So if there are some challenges that you're facing in this regard, just call us, let us know, and we can work with you to try and get the right type of information.
Sometimes I notice that some people, they are sending bank statements as an image, not a PDF, so they don't accept it. So this is the reason.
There could be a number of reasons in that regard, but our KYC team will be able to share that. So it's not a one size fits all, but they're very good at communicating. So they will let you know.
That's very good. Very good question. Dropshippers. Tide for dropshipping business on Shopify. Is having a company in the UK necessary? It is necessary. You need to have a company in the UK. And do you have any limitations about dropshipping business?
That is probably one that I'll have to feed back on. Off the top of my head, I probably couldn't comment right now. But I can absolutely feed back for Mohammed and give that level of information.
Mohammed, we have lots of users. They run legit dropshipping businesses. They have a proper website. They have proof of their activities. I would say, as a user of Tide, I would say you won't have so much problem. I mean, dropshipping is a business model as well. I know what you are trying to ask, but it is a legit business, and you can sell on Shopify and use Tide as a banking services provider. But again, of course, the decision goes to the Tide. But with my experience, I would say you won't have any problem.
And this will fall again under that risk appetite that I mentioned earlier. That risk appetite, it is quite a comprehensive list, which is why I'd want to go away and check it. But I'm pretty sure that it is something that falls within our risk appetite. But we can share that link with your audience after this.
Next one. why are you asking those guys their personal details, personal address?
Of course. Well, it's to help us with our verification. Ultimately, as we mentioned earlier, if you're a sole trader, you need to have a UK registered address. If you're a limited company, then that you need to have a company registered with Companies House. But we need to verify that. So in order to do that, we will ask for proof of address in some form so that we can verify that level of information.
This is a repeated question, but he gave more details about why they don't accept.
I guess advice is not the right one to send. I mean, she did answer already anyways, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll take a note and let's discuss that after the call. And if we get more information from your side, so we can email them, we can post to the group.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can,
absolutely.
Next one, account limits. Are there any account limits? Can I use it tied for crypto exchange? It's a very popular topic.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about crypto. So I was expecting that question.
Of course. So again, falling back to risk appetite. So crypto at the moment does fall outside of that. It's not something that we do currently accept as within our remit for Tide members. Keep checking back with us. It could be subject to change, but right now, crypto is not something that we do facilitate within the Tide environment.
When we talk about the account limits, I would like to jump. I know we talk about details, but I'm sure people they would like to know as well. Is there any transaction limits for? I'm not talking about crypto. I'm getting my payments from Stripe, PayPal, etc., and I need to pay to my suppliers maybe 10 grand. I don't know, 15,000. What are the limitations, daily transaction limits, etc.? Do you know? I know it's a bit technical, but do you know anything about that?
Yeah, what I can say there is treat us very similar to a regular bank in that regard. So if you're going to do something that's outside of your regular behaviour, give us a call and let us know. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't keep an eye on that sort of thing. So if you are going to make a large transaction outside of your Tide account, give us a heads up and let us know, because it's our obligation to protect our Tide members, and if something triggers or flags, then there could be a potential that we might look to hold just until we can verify with the member that it is a legit transaction. But what I'd say in that regard, and I can share more information after this call, is if they're going to do something outside of your usual behaviour or make a large transaction that could raise some flags with us, just let us know.
Perfect. And the last question of the day, Tamur, Tide is using third party to verify password. Yes, I have good mobile camera, still can verify. I do call Time Team, but they don't have other option. This is good. It's very good feedback. I mean, I don't know. It's very technical for me, but I'm sure there is a department they can reach, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So in that instance, what I'd do is there's two things that you can do. Contact our onboarding support team, which the number we can share after this. Speak to our in-app support or contact hello@Tide. All of those, we will have someone on hand to walk you through. It and in that regard, absolutely, we should be able to get that sorted for you. I know what a pain it can be to try and take the right photo with the lighting and all that sort of thing. Do persist. I actually had a similar thing with an external company recently where it wouldn't accept my form of ID. It does happen. If it continues to happen and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, do reach out to us again, because maybe there's something a little more in detail that we need to explore in terms of the technical functionality and capability that needs review. But what we would do is we do look on a case-by-case basis, and if we start to notice a trend of things reoccurring, then absolutely we can explore it at more of a technical level.
Wonderful. I mean, it's nice. It has been almost 40 minutes. Before we let you free, I have a question about upcoming updates from Tide. I mean, I know you cannot share everything. I respect that, but I mean, we would like to hear some new updates exclusively for this webinar.
Well, there's a lot happening behind the scenes at Tide. I think it's really important to call that out. The most recent and relevant updates I can give you. So first and foremost, we have recently launched what we call Tide Open Access, which is essentially for people that potentially aren't in the market for switching their bank accounts right now, but they want to leverage Tide's features and benefits. We've launched Open Access, which is essentially using open banking. And what people can do is they can create a Tide account, which means that they can use Tide's features and benefits whilst managing their pre-existing bank accounts from the app, or viewing the accounts from the app. So it gives people that glimmer of what it's like to have a Tide bank account and what features and benefits that they can access. That's a super exciting one. It launched in November of last year. Yeah, it launched in November of last year, and we've started to roll that out to the public, and it's getting some great traction at the moment. And it'll help give those people comfort that maybe a little reserved to switch to Tide. It'll get them used to the features and benefits, and hopefully give them comfort that Tide is the right solution for them. Additional things as well. Yeah, so that's exciting. Additional things as well. So we are working as part of our onboarding flow when people sign up. We are working on not just allowing them to register their business, but we are also allowing them to register their business name, as in trademark checker.
Oh, and this is great.
Yeah. So that's something that we're really excited about. And long term, later in the year, we're looking at releasing domain registration at the same time as well. I mentioned earlier in the call, we want to be that one-stop shop, and we realize that we are looking to we want to provide everything for people that are starting up their business. So this is really key, in our opinion, for people to register their company name, register their company, and be able to set up a domain as well, and get that trademark. And last but not least, international expansions is another one. So we are launching. Yeah. So we are launching out in India. We are currently getting the ground. We are currently getting that underway at the moment, and we are hoping to have a full launch out in India later this year. And whilst I can't give too many details away, I can't give you any names, but do watch this space, because once we have launched in India, we are looking at some further international expansions, what we could call a little closer to home. So I think it will benefit. I think it will benefit a lot of your members. Let's put it that way. So as I say, do watch this space, and we will absolutely announce it with yourselves once we're in a position to do so.
That's amazing. I love the India part as well. It's amazing. I mean, thank you so much for your time. I know you have a busy schedule, but I am so happy to have you here. And guys, thank you for joining. I know you have other questions, but this video is going to be online on YouTube permanently after 15-20 minutes, I suppose. And again, don't forget to join our group on Facebook. And if you have any questions, it could be about Tide or Launchese or anything about being an entrepreneur from different parts of the world, we're happy to help. We're happy to answer. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.